Ladies and gentlemen, I'm currently in the doghouse, and what put me in the doghouse was this tweet right here that I made quite recently. And actually, I probably shouldn't be talking about this right now. I should give it some time. But I've been thinking about it for like the last 30 minutes or so, and I wanted to just do a reaction video, and so I don't have to think about it anymore. So what I tweeted was, if you're ever feeling bad about some code you wrote, put it side by side against some Angular.js code, and suddenly your code is looking pretty good. Now, the tweet itself just is not exactly the problem. Like, you could say that this is a pretty harmless joke and by itself in isolation. The problem is I've been making a lot of Angular jokes lately. So if you search my name and see how many tweets that I've actually tweeted that include the word Angular, we can count them right here. So just today I did 4 of them, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This is gold. I actually just got hacked by an Angular developer here. This one, what was I on? 11, 12. This is a good one too, guys. 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, so 16 tweets in July alone. I think this is probably my most Angular tweets is going to be in July if I had to guess. So that's almost an Angular tweet a day. It's actually a little bit less than I thought it would be, but that's still a lot of Angular tweets. I just wanted to mention that to give you some context that there is more than just this tweet going on. It is the series of recent actions and jokes that I've been making about Angular, including in my YouTube videos. So what happened is I tweeted this, and Dan Abramov responded. All right? And Dan said, honestly, man, this is not cool. It's been kind of depressing to see you bash anything that starts with an A. I'm not the one to tell others about low effort posting, but this is just tired. So I want to go through all of Dan's comments. That way we can see like all of his thoughts together. So Smackosh replied to Dan's comment there, and he said, obvious sarcasm, or are you being sarcastic as well with your reply? And Dan says, I'm serious. I've seen a variation of tweets that are all like Angular bad over the last few days, and I think this is a lazy attempt at humor, makes our community look like jerks, and creates artificial division. And then he says down here, I'm not making judgments about Ben as a person or anything like that. I just express my opinion that I think this is a tired trope we should put to rest, and that it creates a bad impression from the outside. You're welcome to ignore my opinion. And there's been kind of a split response to this. So Balaz agrees with Dan, and he says, I love your content and like the way that you're spicing up your YouTube videos with some humor. At first, I laughed silently along with others, but after a while I started feeling bad and wished it stopped. Once or twice maybe, all the time, no. Some people disagreed with Dan and said, I kind of disagree on this. Many of Ben's tweets are jokes, even when he seems serious. Elevation of sensitivity is also not desirable for any communities. And he follows up with, it's one thing to think a joke is not funny and another to think it's reprehensible. I figured it'd be good before I give my take on this that I explain why am I even talking about Angular.js so much? Like, what is wrong with me? Am I just straight crazy? And it all kind of started with a video that I did maybe like a month ago, or maybe a little bit longer, where I made just kind of like an offhand comment about Angular.js and something about Angular.js, and then you become a carrot farmer. And it kind of just it kind of like just took off, and people in the comments really liked it. And so I included another comment about Angular in the next video, and then the next video, because I do YouTube videos, which is, when you're watching that, you know that. And so it just kind of became a thing where I would talk and make a comment about Angular. It just kind of slowly increased, and yeah, it just became kind of a running joke. And so that is why I've been talking about Angular lately. It is just from a joking side of things, and from that. Whenever anyone would ask me if I actually hate Angular, I would always just point them to this tweet and tell them personally I don't hate Angular, but given I'm a React developer, my religion requires me to detest it. I did realize a couple weeks ago that I kind of was overly harping on Angular, but the problem was I just kind of kept thinking of quote-unquote funny Angular jokes, and I would just continue to do them because of that, and it became very comfortable. And I knew I kind of didn't want to be like a one-trick Angular pony, but I kept doing it anyway. In my defense, while a lot of my jokes have been Angular themed lately, I did try to get creative with them and mix them up so it wasn't the same style of Angular joke per se, but there is a very fine line between what is creative and funny and what is just an overused, dead, regurgitated, recycled of the last thing. So I do understand. But I do agree with Dan, I have been overusing the Angular jokes, and I do appreciate the criticism here. And you know when the head of your church tells you you've gone too far, that you should probably listen to him. And for those of you that are worried that this is the end of my quote-unquote jokes, don't worry, this is not. I'm just going to be mixing it up and choosing different content and be less obsessive about Angular.js. For those of you that don't like the jokes and just want 100% nothing but the facts, I'm sorry, there's going to be more jokes coming. Although I am trying to figure out where exactly I want to put the sarcasm bar, and I am still experimenting and transitioning with my content at the moment and trying to figure out what exactly I want it to be. And so there's going to be some videos that have more of these and less of them, and we'll just see how it goes. So thanks for sticking in, and yeah, hope you guys have a good day. But before you go, don't forget to smash that unstar button on my star unstar method repo, because it is just a terrible project. JK, that was actually just a joke. You should actually go give Angular.js the star back because it's actually a Git repository with great code and you should really respect it. By the way, that was my farewell Angular.js joke. I'm going on vacation now for real.